My name is Sarah Mitchell, and I'm 25 years old. I live a peaceful and ordinary life in a quiet village. I was raised by loving parents in a home filled with kindness and understanding. We weren't wealthy, but my family believed in truthfulness and compassion. When I was young, my mother and father spoke to me about relationships and commitment. They told me that affection should never be hurried or taken for granted. They explained that marriage is a sacred bond that requires patience and faith. Their guidance shaped the way I saw myself. Through the years, I made an important decision for my own life. I chose to save myself until I got married. This wasn't about being afraid, it came from my beliefs. Some people think my decision is outdated or unusual these days. A few others smile and say times have already moved on. Even so, I've never been embarrassed about my choices. I don't criticize how others live their lives. Each person follows their own journey through this world. This particular road is mine alone to walk. I remain pure by choice, and I'm proud of that. One ordinary afternoon, something unexpected happened in my world. I crossed paths with Daniel Carter while I was in the nearby town. Our meeting was unplanned, inside a cozy little coffee shop. Daniel seemed kind, gentle, and pleasant to speak with. He paid attention whenever I expressed my feelings. He never hurried our talks or cut me off mid-sentence. This made me feel safe when I was near him. Before long, we began spending time together regularly. We strolled side by side, chatted endlessly, and exchanged little memories. Everything seemed easy, sweet, and wonderful in those early days. Daniel brought smiles to my face without even trying hard. He helped me feel noticed and valued. Little by little, my emotions began to grow stronger. For the very first time, I wondered if this could be true affection. Daniel always honored my personal space and my limits. He never made advances that felt inappropriate or uncomfortable. That consideration allowed me to believe in him completely. Eventually, I shared everything about Daniel with my closest friend, Maya. She sat quietly and studied me with worried eyes. After pausing for a while, she replied in a cautious tone. She mentioned that Daniel tends to develop feelings very fast. She added that he doesn't enjoy waiting too long for intimacy. Maya cautioned that he loses interest when progress feels too slow. She advised me to protect my emotions carefully. Her honesty was clear, but I refused to listen fully. I thought people sometimes speak without understanding the full picture. I felt confident that Daniel treated me differently than others. My feelings seemed more powerful than any advice at that time, so I trusted my instincts and pushed aside my concerns. Several months passed, and Daniel grew more earnest about our connection. He discussed plans for tomorrow and dreams of sharing a home together. One special night, he posed a life-changing question to me. Daniel asked if I would become his wife. I felt surprised, thrilled, and deeply moved all at once. My fingers trembled as I absorbed what he was saying. When his gaze met mine, I felt cherished and important. I answered yes because my love for him was genuine. I assumed his offer proved dedication and sincerity. Deep down, I believed he embraced every part of who I was. Following our promise to marry, things between us started shifting gradually. Daniel wished for us to grow more intimate than we'd been. He expressed himself softly, yet his intentions felt insistent. He frequently reminded me that our wedding wasn't far away anyway. During a romantic evening out, I hoped to appear lovely and self-assured. I put on a fitted outfit that highlighted my figure nicely. The clothing was understated, yet it boosted my confidence significantly. I checked my reflection and grinned before stepping outside. Daniel took notice immediately when he laid eyes on me. His stare lingered on me slightly longer than it normally would. We dined together at an intimate little eatery that evening. The lighting was dim and gentle music played softly around us. We enjoyed our meal, shared jokes, and sipped some wine together. Everything between us felt genuine and comfortable right then. When he moved closer toward me, I didn't step back or resist. He pressed his lips against mine tenderly at first, then more passionately, filled with emotion and longing intensely flowing between us both equally now. Afterward, though, his palm traveled downward. Along my clothing slowly but surely, I noticed my pulse quicken inside my chest. but stayed composed outwardly still. Daniel couldn't continue any further, though. Beneath my outfit, I had prepared myself thoughtfully beforehand. You see, I'd worn tight undergarments designed for shaping, firm yet discreet, and over those, I'd layered sheer hosiery, smooth against skin, almost invisible, subtly flattering overall. I desired to look appealing while maintaining boundaries simultaneously too. When I politely halted his attempt, he exhaled deeply, pulling away. Reluctantly now, his expression revealed longing, but also visible frustration clearly present there too. I sensed his annoyance even though no words were spoken aloud then. That marked the very first instance when distance formed between us suddenly. After encounters like that one, he started questioning why waiting remained necessary anymore really. Those inquiries weighed heavily upon my spirit, making doubt creep into my mind unwelcome. I cared deeply for him, but something within me felt wrong somehow. One quiet evening, I summoned my bravery and spoke honestly with clarity. Finally, I expressed that delaying intimacy mattered greatly to me personally always. I stated this principle defined who I truly am. Fundamentally speaking, I clarified that uncertainty wasn't holding me back whatsoever. I simply needed my standards to be acknowledged respectfully always. Daniel remained silent throughout, never raising his voice once. But his demeanor changed noticeably afterward. Following that discussion, Daniel gradually withdrew emotionally from our relationship slowly. He contacted me less frequently, responded to texts much later than usual. His laughter seemed artificial, and his manner turned chilly suddenly. Sometimes, his remarks began wounding me profoundly deep inside. He claimed I was too traditional-minded for his taste. Now, he suggested other girls were more accommodating, more progressive thinking overall. Those statements stung worse than outright anger ever could. Honestly, over time, I began recognizing reality more clearly now. True affection shouldn't demand someone abandon themselves entirely. Respect shouldn't ever feel burdensome or problematic unnecessarily. Soon enough, I discovered something even more heartbreaking. Unfortunately, Daniel had continued pursuing other girls secretly behind my back. They were girls who didn't establish firm boundaries like I had. In that instant, everything made perfect sense. Finally, he sought pleasure, not partnership. One calm evening, I arranged to meet Daniel once more for closure mainly. I gazed down at the engagement band, circling my finger thoughtfully. For quite some time, actually, it suddenly felt burdensome, no longer sparking happiness whatsoever anymore. Without rage or dramatics, I handed it back to him calmly. I informed him I couldn't alter my core identity. Fundamentally speaking, I declared, I wouldn't compromise my values just to retain him beside me. Daniel didn't protest, nor attempt explaining himself either. That quiet response provided all confirmation I truly needed. Then, I departed, with sorrow filling my heart, but also carrying quiet dignity within myself. Still, life returned to tranquility once more after that difficult chapter ended. I experienced loneliness, occasionally, especially during late hours alone, yet I never felt hollow or damaged internally. Somehow each morning, I concentrated on recovery and progressing forward positively. Some mornings proved challenging, tears flowed freely. Then other mornings, I discovered newfound strength emerging within. Gradually, I absorbed a vital truth about myself clearly. Releasing someone doesn't equal losing your value whatsoever. Today, my existence is serene. Once again, I awaken feeling contentment in my soul. I hold no bitterness anymore. I'm not ashamed regarding my history, either. I didn't sacrifice myself for romance, and that empowers me greatly. I remain untouched, not because weakness defines me, but because I honored myself first. This experience taught me one crucial truth: genuine love doesn't pressure you constantly. Genuine love doesn't rush your timeline unnecessarily. If somebody truly cares about you, they'll honor your boundaries completely, never transform yourself just to maintain someone's presence temporarily. Do you think affection should be patient? Share your thoughts below. Don't stress if every single word wasn't immediately clear. You can replay this slowly. Understanding will gradually arrive naturally. If this narrative stirred emotions within you, please remember to like, share, and follow the Simple English Stories channel. Every tale contains wisdom, and together we grow wiser daily. Thank you for listening today, and stay connected because another heartfelt story awaits you soon. I believe you'll appreciate it immensely. Until next time.